Hey you guys, it is Sunday, June 11th, and I just returned from being away from the garden for a whole month. I was visiting my brother in Hawaii and some friends in North Carolina, so there's a lot of growth and a lot of change, and I'm going to do an update. So a quick walkthrough, so I'm not going to do any editing. I'm going to keep it on the Instagram and maybe put it on YouTube. So we've got a lot of expansion on the grapes over here. The garden itself is kind of faded. All of the Swiss chard is gone, all the broccoli is gone, so ready for some summer crops. I had reseeded some okra and it is coming up, but not near as thick, so the chickens have been in quite a bit. But the garden is basically in a lot of disarray. There's just been a tremendous amount of expansion, so you can kind of feel it. It's a good energy in the air. It's very lush and dense and full. A lot of life to contain. There's not much of a path left. See a little paver there. Got a persimmon crossing the path. Got a little shady rose that probably needs to come out. Here's our path right here. And oh, the temperature difference. So this whole week is up around 100, a few days in the hundreds. So the shade is just really cool and nice. It's very cool seeing, you know, the naturalized perilla and the butterfly weed. Lots of butterflies. So a lot of awkward growth, but it's coming back. You know, the citrus had a real hard last year, so gonna keep giving them light, encouraging them to regrow. I guess we passed. Looks like a lot of fruit dropped, but there's still, you know, a couple. There's one at the end for the decapon. And then there's tomato all the way over here. It's all from this plant that's fading out, but I do see some red tomatoes. They really just fade in the heat. The spring stuff is gone, and it's a jungle. This is kind of exciting. This is dieback on the pomegranate, just from the freeze, and then it kind of continued because of bark damage. But this gives me an excuse to take out this wonderful pomegranate and just let this cashew finally get really big and full. I mean, this is my best tree, and obviously that's because it's getting super full sun. We might forge through that path, but I do see right here, good to show, just a lot of tomatoes on sun gold still going, kind of blocking the path here. I see turmeric coming up through all of the pepper vine and goldenrod, and I see really good regrowth on the LSU purple fig. You know, it's already back up to 12 feet. All right, oh, gotta forge through. We had the bananas obviously froze to the ground with that real hard freeze, that shock one. Let's see. So yeah, some bananas probably to share because they're a little bit too dense. We've got persimmon up above my head. I don't know if you can see a couple fruit right there. And that is shoot, I forget the name. Anyway, this is kind of cool. Naturalized longevity. It's made it through freezes and everything. And then there are definitely some figs starting to come on. That's the main crop. The Bariba crop for sure got missed. The first crop, early crop, frozen out. But having to cut through. And look, we've got fruit right about to hit me in the face. So fruit set on the jujube looks really good, like still flowering and already setting fruit. So this will be real nice in August, September. And definitely this plant just taking over the garden. Mexican gherkin everywhere. I don't even know how it managed to climb that. Or maybe it came from over there. It did. So I have a lot of Mexican gherkin to eat, but also to rip out. If you look, there's Like that's all gherkin, just kind of sheet covering everything, catching on my leg and blocking the path. So some things, you know, naturalize, and some things become a little invasive. That's all gherkin, all the way up the pine tree. But I was really, so there's a purple ube leaf, I see it. So I'm glad it's still up there because I wanted to cut off a piece to share with somebody. I think the cherry of the Rio Grande, I'm just gonna let that fade. I'm detaching from the garden. That's kind of the energy these days. But love seeing the naturalized. None of this is from me. I didn't plant that, but that's food. And then back here, I don't think there's much to share. Obviously very open because of the dead avocado and the dead calicarpa. But this alocasia, the Buddha's palm, I guess, that was unprotected, so that's very sturdy and pleasy. And oh, this is new. So caught a swarm in an owl box, which is pretty typical. I actually have that owl box because I once took bees out of it and set it back here. So that's probably a colony from my garden, and it definitely feels very covered, very thickety over there. It's nice having more light in this area. I see the sweet olive getting more balanced, you know, growing this direction a little bit better because of the bamboo. Again, the big freezes have just really decimated. So I got a lot of bamboo to harvest, build some trellises. We got some color, just got gherkin everywhere. Let's see. Okay, well this feels good. It's been a good month for this avocado. It's expanding as it should, which is nice, but it's really now the only big avocado in the garden because of all the freezes and things. And oh my gosh, do we have so much elderberry in the garden. That's a big change. Let's see. It looks like my willow tree blew over. We've got distraction, sorry. These look good. Maybe add a box on that one. I'm gonna be pulling honey because I haven't yet done that yet, so probably won't even add boxes, just kind of pull a few frames. But it looks like that willow tree there just got snapped in a storm, high wind or something. And pond is pretty full, which is good. It means we've had a rain recently. There's a little string here. It was attached to the willow for the chicken protection. I'll have to redo that. Oh my gosh, thicket. Hear the wrens? Oh no, it's a cardinal. I should know my birds better. Anyway, this is, I definitely have to intervene because that darker green in there, that's a persimmon tree, a grafted persimmon. Here's the trunk of it. And it just got swamped by tomato and gherkin, and I see some stink bugs on the tomatoes, but definitely a few to nibble. This time of year they get bad, that's why that dropped. See the stink bugs, you can kind of see the damage. I still eat them, but they're not perfect tomatoes. But just wow, look at this gherkin. And I've got to go protect, there's another citrus right there that has to regrow, so it needs some light. But apparently the gherkin did not get affected by the big freeze, and it is back with a vengeance, which is kind of cool. Look at the ground there, they're all dropping. Man, if I'd kept up with harvest, this could have been a good crop. And now these are probably 90% of them are too far gone, but it's okay. They're not that fun to harvest anyway. I see lots of main crop figs, that's good. So this did have a Breba crop, a real little one, but look at the gherkin climbing up it. So yeah, and the gherkin even managed to get up into the persimmon tree, which should have fruit, but I don't see a lot of fruit set. All right, keep going. It looks like a fig branch has bent down. Might need a trim. Might just prop it up for now. We've got some roses, we got the bees, we got some fruit on the ujikitsu. So the citrus that did get protected, you know, it's gonna have some fruit this year, which is nice. So same over here, you know, got some protection. So there's some sweet oranges in there. Let's see. I'm really excited about this avocado. This is kind of the future, you know. Seedling from this property. I got tomatoes I'm stepping on down here. Let's see. But there's a bigger tomato plant. This is just one plant back here. It's also kind of sprawling, and this is another sun gold, which is a really good cultivar. And I just heard a rabbit go. But it's cool that there are still tomatoes for me, and this is just, you know, planted in the logs where the chickens couldn't scratch it. Just climbing on the brush pile. That's what tomatoes like to do. I see some good fruit right there to get. Yeah, bananas coming back. This guy, so exciting. That's some active growth avocado right there. That's good to see. Let's see. All right, out here we've got, this is kind of cool. That's going to be a root sucker, I think. Excuse me. There's going to be some peppers, jalapenos. That's a good one to plant and walk away this last month. And then Bailey obviously could do its thing. That's really cool. And this is, it was something I tried to encourage. It's a cucumber. There you go. So I had it growing up a sunflower. The sunflower fell over, and now the cucumber is winning out because it's sprawling everywhere. And this is definitely just one plant. So this is quite the thicket permaculture example. A lot more elderflower. I did have some hot peppers in there that are probably shaded out, and that's okay. Oh, this is kind of sad. I don't have much experience with rue, but I wonder what took it out. We've got moringa here coming back from the base. There's some good shoots right there. And then just sunflower. This is like the weedy sunflower, but there's some good food. That's a Ceylon spinach, talinum. Let me see if I can get past this moringa. Going over it. So I had planted this little guy this spring before I left. Got it from a friend. It's a brush cherry, and it's actually got a fruit on it from this year. Actually, here's a fruit way down here. So here's a little syzygium fruit just for me. But gonna get that guy some light so he can keep going. We got lots of lamb's quarter setting its seed to be harvested. Lots of grapes up in there with gherkin mixed in. There's food hiding out. This is another cool one. I've not planted cowpeas in this garden in years and years and years, like 7 years, and yet they still show up randomly sometimes. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully it makes a few bean pods and shows up again. Let's see. Kind of went this way, but I do see a lot of cinnamon yam coming up to cover this blueberry. So the real crop, I'm you know, the blueberries just had that disease. I'm not really trying to do them again, so letting them go. We got just a solid jungle. There's a path back there, I promise, but it's blocked by all the lamb's quarter and perilla. And but yeah, I see clusters of grapes, fruit set. So they'll be ready soon. Grapes are pretty early here in Houston, you know, late July. There's a sweet pepper. All right, more stuff grew over. We got first good crop, it looks like, on Saijo, although this branch is way too stretched out. Haven't done proper training. See that angle? It's like, whoa. So yeah, I got work to do with light. I need to cut back on the red bud and get these persimmons a little densified, a little more light. But good shady part of the garden. And yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end it now because just for not having to edit or anything. And that'll be the garden on this side. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.